kind of want to talk for a minute because I've been seeing a lot of young people who don't really have anyone to talk to or maybe look up to or anybody that's still in active addiction. Because I used to I hate saying it, but I used to shoot heroin for years. I was first an alcoholic, and my dentist was my neighbor. So when I had gotten my wisdom teeth taken out, I got painkillers for the first time. And I didn't automatically get addicted. It was when I went back into the military, I got my wisdom teeth taken. My other one, or no. I just got fillings. So I got, yeah. I got fillings. Anyway, I got addicted straight then. And then there was a guy that was in our company that was in the invasion of Iraq, and he had a lot of problems. But what he was doing was he was getting Oxycontin. This was back in 2009, 2010. He was getting Oxycontin from the German citizens and on base. So you would take one of those scripts and sell them, and you'd sell them to me. So, anyways, then I got out and started shooting up heroin. Yeah, became homeless, all that stuff. I really don't want to go too far into it. It's just boring. I don't like, no one really cares unless like someone asks me and they're serious and they just want to know. I was homeless. What else? I was shooting up trucks and I was homeless. There's nothing really exciting there, you know. Um, but the reason why I don't know why I just felt like I had to speak because I've been seeing a ton of youth that have no one to talk to, no one to look up to. And the reason why I say that is because when I was growing up in New York, I was a very, very angry kid, as in hurting animals. I would have like these visions of throwing people into windshields and drinking their blood just to scare them and just going psychotic, crazy. And that's probably one of the first times I've actually said that out loud because it scared me so much later in life just to think that I was that angry. So anytime I see kids doing something awful, I get it, but it's sad because the whole road it took for me to get to where I am today, I just wish that I could somehow talk to someone. Like some kid that's super angry, has a lot of abuse going on. And I'm not talking, you know, parents are yelling at each other or something. That happens. And sure, that can be really stressful. Don't get me wrong. But if you're dealing with like someone choking you and hitting you, and I can tell you that's just like, and you see your mom getting beat up, that's just a whole nother animal because you want to hurt that person like enough to where they're begging, that like you just become so angry and you can't really understand. And people say, oh, it's because of the abuse at home. And you're like, shut the fuck up, like, no, it's not. I'm just an angry person. It's like, no, no, they're right because I've completely done a 180 since I was a kid. from always wanting to fight. And there was one kid I had beat up after school because, of course, you have to be cool. This was in the what, 90s, early 2000s. And he told the principal, the family got involved, and they said they were going to sue us. And so my response was beat him up again after school, this time with a stick. Next day, you go to someone else tomorrow, I'll do it again with something even worse. Like I'm putting a kid in the hospital because my mother had cancer at the time, and he said, "I hope your mom dies." Yeah, that actually happened. We're actually still friends to this day, surprisingly. See, like when you're a kid, you couldn't imagine something like that, but the older you get, like there's one and another kid that I beat up that I picked on all throughout school. We're good friends today, and I'm not friends with anybody from high school. Like there are only a few people. Oddly enough, it's the people that I picked on or beat up or we had a problem. You know, I, w- yeah, I just it's rough because I don't have kids. I never had kids. I always like I I thought like the way of living your 20s and 30s was sleeping with as many women as possible, partying, showing off, always looking good. Uh, you know, I can remember. I don't know who I was speaking to. I can remember wanting to sleep with some girl so bad, and then like in the middle of us sleeping together, I can remember sitting there bored. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, what's the point? I don't even want to be doing this. Like, and it was all for show. It's all to make you look like someone deep down. Just don't feel like that's you. Like, deep down, I like video games. I like history. I'm a nerd, deep down. But when I was growing up, that was a nerdy thing to do. No social media, no cell phones. Like, yeah, you had to be in a clique. You had to be cool, And I just had that mindset and it stuck with me. And I was really immature for a long time. I didn't grow up until like my mid 30s, which is crazy because of drugs, because of what I thought I was looking like towards other people. And while other people were getting a degree or getting a life, a good job, I was out partying. Stupid. Such a waste of time. 'Cause here I am at 40 years old. I put laundry on a shelf. That's what it's come down to. You sure? I have great stories, funny stories, crazy stories. But as soon as people are done, they go home to their nice house and kids. And I go home to myself. So those years go fast and it might be brutal, but they're over quick. And then you have, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Like you have 40, 50 years outside of high school. Why pay attention to what, 10 years of high school? Try to look cool for a couple of people you're never going to talk to again. I know. You're going to, oh, we're going to stay in. No, you're not. No, you're not. Everyone goes their separate ways. You'll say hi or whatever, but that's it. Um, so the only thing I can say that I'm an expert in is life, I guess, just because I've done everything. I've had really good jobs, but I couldn't keep them because I was either relapsing or partying, and women were too important to keep that job, or I was bored, or uh so yeah. So I guess I am an expert when it comes to life. Unfortunately, I'm 40 and I don't have a second chance to redo it. If I could, I would, but um yeah. So if you're young out there, um I get it. I get why you're angry. I get why you want to hurt someone. I know I completely understand the feeling of even bringing something to school and making everybody suffer. But what do you think those people are going to be sitting at home someday thinking, oh, I should have said hi to him? No one thinks that, even during something bad like that. No one thinks that. In fact, the only thing people are gonna think of you is how much of a shitty person you are. I mean, no one ever regrets picking on you. No one ever regrets anything they do. Have you ever heard of anybody going on the news during some kind of school shooting or something and say, "Oh, I should have been nice to him"? No, no one says that. No one ever regrets anything they did. So there, and then you throw your entire life away. So it's not worth it. It's pointless. The best thing you can do to get back at people is have a good life. I'm telling you right now, as someone who was that popular kid in school, who slept with a lot of women, that partied a lot, that had good jobs for a short time, that had a great wife at one time. And I could actually, one girl that I ended up sleeping with, she begged me to, well, first we were just seeing each other. I was sleeping with two girls at the time. And I would literally sleep with this one girl and then go to her house and sleep with her. Two women that today, if I wouldn't even know which one to pick. They were absolutely gorgeous, beautiful souls, had everything together. They had their own businesses. What was I thinking? Anyway, after a couple times of going over there and spending the night, she said, "What are we doing?" I said, "What do you mean? What are we doing? You are just fooling around." And she said, "Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like things are different." Like, come on, man. And then I was like, "No, we're just sleeping together." And she got mad. And years later, when I was homeless, I saw her. Big old lifted truck. Um, I will never forget that because it was like she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything awful. She just, we saw each other and I walked away, but I felt like fucking crying because I was just like, what happened to me? Thank God she didn't say anything. Jesus. Why is it every time I record or stream, something always happens? Anyway, so yeah, best thing to do is to show everybody you're not stupid. Fighting people, you'll never get anybody to be scared enough to where they say, "I'm sorry." Even if you get people to be scared of you, they eventually go on with their own life and get a good job and then have a family and have a nice house. And then you're sitting there, what? Like, what is that? Viva la, Bam? No, is that it? Anyway, forget it. Like you're a loser. You become a loser. Like, no, what do you I'm scared of you. I'm 40 years old. I don't want to fight you. What the fuck? I have kids. I have a job. Go away. You know? Um, being that person will never pay off for you. Like you see gangsters, like, oh yeah, sure, everyone's scared of you, but what's home like? Blows? Yeah. Like, who cares? People just stay away from you. Like, there's nothing good that comes from being a partier or beating people up or doing something awful or trying to make people regret their thoughts, which they never will, no matter what you do to them. Um, always the best solution is to get your life together and be a good person. Let it all go, man. It's, you know, it's crazy. If you only seen me when I was growing up, completely different. I was a psychopath. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope should make a channel on trying to reach out to some people out there, some kids, teenagers, whatever, because I genuinely do care and I get it. I really do. Um, angry, so angry, dude. Oh my gosh. Some of the things that used to go through my head. Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, I was ripped out of my home and tossed into another home. That's what happened. Probably saved my life from being a serial killer. Anyway, so you have any questions? Want to get something off your chest? Let me know. So, not to be too corny or anything. I'm really curious how some of you are getting trying to get by out there. So, all right, see ya.